how is the actual, like, monetary number arrived at for the GMP? Like, so you're bidding and that's open book, like, is it just the sum total of all that, your general conditions, and boom, there's your lump sum, that's the guaranteed max price?
Yeah, so you would have your cost of work breakdown, which is communicating either the estimated cost from the general contractor or actual bids from the recommended vendors. Then you have your general requirements, which is, you know, sometimes self-perform, but the GC has to submit a bid to have that portion of self-perform. There's the general conditions, which is a defined monthly amount from the contract. Then on top of that, you'll have fee and insurances. So there's a large amount of insurances that are applied on top of these costs. And then we have our contingencies, which have to have owner's approval to use. And there could be allowances for, the foreseen, unforeseen conditions on the project.
Ooh, what's an example?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, what's an
I
example of
wanna
a
know this. Yes.
foreseen,
Yeah.
unforeseen?
Yeah.
A seen, unforeseen is, for example, a DAS system, and I'm sorry, that's one acronym I don't know if I can confidently give y'all.
It's all good.
But it's basically a radio, the AIC police or AFD will go out and they'll check to make sure that their radio will work throughout the building. If their radio system does not work within the building, DAS just helps with that signal.
Mm.
So it's something that we will never know until a project is built and you have an inspection done. So we'll often carry that as an allowance in case that system is used. Another really great allowance that we see on a lot of our projects is pure casings. You don't know what you're going to find whenever you're digging. So if we would assume maybe a certain amount of pure casings. And then once you finish that work and you realize you didn't need to use that allowance, that money can get swept and put into a contingency.
Ah, nice. What part what part of this is the risk part for the general contractor? Like, what are they risking?
It's a challenge in the way the market is right now. So in previous bond programs, we would push general contractors to provide GMPs before bid with their estimated cost. And in that realm, there is a lot more risk cost-wise with the general contractor. They need to be tracking costs better. They need to be very clear with their clarifications and assumptions. But with where the market is at right now and the challenges we're seeing with that, most of our GMPs are post-bid, and it's to reduce the risk of higher cost GMPs because of the uncertainty within the market that we're seeing right now. Not only in Austin are we seeing a lot of construction, we're managing ourselves 24 projects, but this $2.44 billion project or a bond program includes hundreds and hundreds of projects. This summer alone, the district for this bond program will have over 20 projects in construction that are outside of what we're managing.
Mm.
It's very challenging to get GMPs before bid. So in the realm of risk for cost, I would say the general contractor isn't taking on as much risk as they could be within the GMP process. But where they are taking on a certain amount of responsibility and risk is in the baseline schedule where they're committing to a substantial completion date that becomes contractual.
Okay. Well, big deal with schools.
Yeah.
We gotta get them open
Mhm.
on time, right? Yeah. I mean,
You've only got one day for a deadline. You can't delay a week, that it has to be ready by the first day of school.